Good evening, everyone. My name is The Thinker, and I am a thinker. I just want to start off by saying I know it's been a while since I have been active in my podcast realm. I just want to say I've been pretty busy. I've been thinking a lot, as I said in the previous video. Basically, to just sort of introduce what's going on here, I want to begin a new series where it's very, chill, down to earth. As you can tell, nothing too fancy going on. Just, suit jacket. I actually don't have the fanciest of pants right now. I just sort of have these on. But, I just want to, it might not be like, oh, this is a weekly thing, this is a monthly thing. It's just, if something comes up, I'd like to work on it and, just do my best to help. What I'm going to be doing in this series is reading letters from fans of mine who maybe are having a, challenge with just whatever's going on in life. And I will use my own personal wisdom and professionalism, at least the one that I have so far. As you know, I'm not perfect. The thinker's not perfect. But maybe, people say helping others helps yourself. I'm sure that's not how it's phrased, but that's how I'm going to phrase it. Helping others helps yourself. And I, the thinker, go through a lot. Let me just say, the thinker goes through a lot. So I believe that it could be almost like a conversation between us two. This letter comes from a fan, and they've given me permission to read it out, so I will. I want to apologize for the franticness. I'm going through a bit. It's fine. It's fine. I feel so alone. I'm either sitting there not saying anything or completely alone. I'm left talking to myself, and it's always talking down. I don't know how they feel. What if they think I'm boring or weird? What if people think I hate them or something? So, what I'm getting at is you maybe... sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna keep reading. I used to think I preferred silence over chat, but now not so much. I want to be talked to or be able to be approachable and fun so badly, but I don't have the energy or skills for it. They look at me with concern but don't do anything because they don't know what's going on, just as I don't know what's going on with me. They don't want to put it on me, and I don't want to put it on them. Whoever this is, I think you're a very considerate person about how you don't want to sort of put things onto others, but I'd say think about it like this. Maybe it's difficult to sort of say what you think into words, but you're doing that now. You just did it with me. So I think that's a start. And the part where you say, I used to think I preferred silence over chat, but now not so much. Sometimes people aren't the chatty type. Some people are. And maybe they'll conflict, maybe they won't. That's just you just sort of have to see how it goes. I think, in my personal opinion, it's fine if you just sort of want to chill around and not be so, right? Because, it does take up a lot of energy. It does take up a lot of skill to be, like the social light, if that makes any sense. But you shouldn't feel obligated to talk. I think, communicating to people that are close to you, going like, hey, I'm just sort of chilling. I'm not very talkative. I think that could work, honestly. Yeah. As you can tell, this is very. I am a thinker. I am the thinker, but I am a really slow thinker. So, it might take me a bit, but that's what the sort of thing is here. I feel like fast responses don't do very much help or benefit. So I just want to take my time and take your time and sort of take things slowly, right? Let me see. I think balance is a very important thing as well. Figuring out, hey, I'd like to be alone and I'd like to share time with others. I think having a balance with that would help a lot because from what I know, if you are sort of silent, reserved, and sort of take yourself away from others, people are just going to assume, oh, they just would rather be alone. And, they'll check in. They'll check in at some times. But I think in general, they would want to just sort of leave you by yourself because that's what they think you would prefer. So I'd say if you want to talk to others, learn to sort of transition yourself from, oh, I'm going to go from this social thing to a more reserved thing, and go and slowly also work the other way. Go from, oh, I just sort of want to be reserved by myself, and learn to transition into that sort of part of yourself that is like energetic and wants to talk to others. And so it is easier said than done. There's a lot of getting used to. Sometimes when you're in like bad moods and you want to be sort of alone, it's can be hard to pull yourself out of that sort of, oh, I want to be by myself state, because then like you said earlier, you're left talking to yourself and you're always talking down. That all sort of eats up in your mind, and it's really hard for you to get yourself to talk to others because you're just sort of, I'd like to say maybe you could tend to get paranoid. You can tend to get paranoid and think, oh, they don't want to talk to me. Oh, they hate me. Blah, 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 blah. But it's more so that, you know, I think now this I'm moving on to sort of a different topic of you gotta be nice to yourself. I think talking down makes it really hard for you to be around others, because how can you be a positive energy to others when you can't be a positive energy to yourself, right? So if you really want to be that positive energy, you gotta, you know, it's gonna sound really harsh, and I do apologize. You just gotta sort of uplift yourself, and then that'll up your energy and will allow you to it allow you to sort of approach yourself to others. Let me move on to the next page. I've had this slumped face for apparently years, but now it's been like a month. Such a long month. Such a long F-wording month. Less use of the F word, please. I'm kidding. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I apologize for that. I apologize. I do apologize if you're taking insults to it, but I hope you're finding it as funny as I am. That was just I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry. I apologize. No. I'm sorry. I always wish they'd choose to sit next to me. I tend to gravitate towards their presence. But what do I have to offer? May has been, sorry, not May. Well, yeah, April, May, been a long month, definitely. And, something I learned, I don't remember the source of where I found this, but a good way to sort of uplift your mood is to smile a bit. Like, there's this, line from this one musical that I watched, Mamma Mia, and it was this one song. I don't remember how the line goes. It was something along the lines, oh, something, 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 that flash of that smile. So I think, just sort of smiling, it may be a little weird, admittedly, but just sort of smiling and could, like, uplift you to be in a better mood, you know? And I always wish they'd choose to sit next to me. Sometimes I admittedly feel the same way. Sometimes I wish, people would do these little gestures that might not mean much, but they sort of mean a ton to me. I'd say there's two things. One, don't sort of let if those little micro actions of generosity, if they don't happen, don't let it, like, sort of defeat you, because then it could cause a lot of harm to you and to others as well, because maybe they could look at things differently. So I'd say, but I do understand. Sometimes just those little things from people do mean a lot. I'd say, from what I'm reading out here is, like, you sort of wish that whoever you're talking about hopes that, they view you with a very, like, welcoming sense. And, you want to be somebody who wants to sort of be, I don't know, a backbone for them, be a support for them, or just sort of be a buddy to them. And that's great. That's great. It's really nice that you want to be a buddy to them. And it's understandable how you feel. But I'd say look for other things look for other ways that they show their gratitude towards you. Maybe it could be like, checking in on you to see if you're okay, or, let me think. Just sort of gestures like that, hugs, or, just sort of going on walks. That's a really specific one, but, maybe, go on a walk together, or, I'd say just talk more, I think talking. Yeah, I know you've said that it's difficult for you to like, do talking, but I'd say be like, oh, this fun thing happened to me today, and that could sort of uplift things. Okay, sorry, I'm getting, like, really, really off track. There's like 70 different things on my mind. I'm the thinker after all, so yeah, just look for ways that they do show their affection, and that's it. It sort of clears your mind. I think also another thing that this could be a possibility, like, sort of dependence. I'd say it's gonna be hard. Don't really don't put your whole weight onto others, because that can really only lead to disappointment. Because if you put people on this high pedestal of, like, oh, I care so much about what you do and your opinion that if anything goes wrong, it'll shatter me. I'd say sort of learn to break away from that, because at the end of the day, they're human beings, they're not perfect, and they're not really gonna know. They can't read minds, just like you can't read minds. They don't really know what you want unless you communicate with that to them, and if you're worried about communicating that to them, just shoot. Yeah, don't put them on pedestals, because it's going to it'll damage your guys's, like, sort of dynamic, because then you're relying too much on them, and that's putting a lot of stress on them, and then it stresses you out whenever things don't go a bit, like, perfect. If things go a bit out of shape, then right? So just sort of learn to have a healthy way of depending on people that isn't like, oh, I need this person in my life, otherwise I need them to be, like, doing this and this and this, or else I'll feel so lonely and stuff like that. I think I do apologize if I'm coming off harsh. I think I might be autistic. Okay, I should have said that. And moving on, Thank God this is not a real person. Jesus Christ. And that last part. But what do I have to offer? Sometimes I like to envision that you're talking about when you say have to offer, you mean like in conversation or like maybe in just sort of support. Sometimes listening is all people really want. Don't feel pressured into giving advice if you can't. I'd say just sort of showing your understanding and showing them that you do care and just for listening speaks a lot of volumes. And just sort of having more talks. Don't be scared to say how you feel. If it feels inappropriate to talk about how you feel in the moment, find a time. Maybe later, maybe over text, go like, hey, there's something I need to get off my chest. Yeah. So just know if somebody's like not really pushing you away, and if somebody isn't like sort of if somebody's not trying to distance themselves from you, you have something to offer. Everybody in your life and you and everybody else, you have something to offer. There's a reason you're there. Whether it be, oh, this person makes me laugh. This person hugs me when I cry. This person cools me down when I'm angry. This person, I don't know, this person plays video games with me. Whatever it is, you have something that people like about you and want you to stick around for. So don't feel like, oh, I have nothing to offer, because you do. You do have something to offer. And it goes back into sort of the thing you were talking about in the past. It was sort of like, oh, I'm always talking myself down. Just don't. I was about to say, oh, just don't talk yourself down. I'm not trying to say that. Well, don't do that, but don't try to. Again, it circles back. Be nicer to yourself. Be nicer to yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Because it's so, yeah. You can continue. Everybody knows something. Everyone knows something's up, but I can't put it in words, so I put it in screams. My decisions and thoughts are unintelligible, so that's what comes out. I thought it was done. I thought I finished my growth, but I should know that I'm never finished. Now I've returned. I've returned to what I promised thrice never to be. It's like everything terrible that happened is happening at the same time. I get the whole I can't put it into words feeling. There's sometimes like when there's a lot of things wrapped up in your mind, you don't know where to start. So start small. Start with, oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and then sort of grow from there. Start with one thing. And it's kind of fine if you don't address everything. Because I think an issue with me is I want to address everything. Like, I've been doing it right now. Like, there's so much I want to say, but I can't say it all. So, look for important bits that you really need to get out there. And then a call and response sort of leads to those details that you want to sort of express. Just naturally sort of come up, right? So, don't feel so... right? Sometimes we need to scream. Now there are a lot of times where you can't scream. So, my solution would be to find a different way. A lot of it is just sort of finding more beneficial ways to deal with stress and anger and anxiety. And everyone knows something is up. I'm guessing that maybe, I don't know, you scream and you know, oh, people around hear it, and maybe you're worried about how they feel. And that's an unfortunate thing that I'd have to say. Yeah, people are going to sort of have a sort of gonna view you with sort of like a raised eyebrow, because I feel like screaming in, like, especially like public places, or screaming just in places that people don't usually scream at, it's a very, very worrying thing, I'd say. So I'd say, we need to learn to avoid like outbursts as much as possible, and that's so much easier said than done. But you know, I've been maybe something funny. Bring a stress toy. You know, hold on. I have something. Uh, this has just been on my desk, but maybe it could be a little fun. Oh, I'm so sorry. I could put it in the background in my videos, but got a little stress poop. It's funny looking, and it gets the job done. It's even just a little stress toy. So just sort of doing that, right? And maybe another thing is maybe your isolation, sort of isolating yourself, leads you to sort of descending. And the more you talk down on yourself, the more you do that, it just eats you up and eats you up and eats you up, that you just sort of you just sort of have to let it all out. And two different ways you can let it out. One, talking to people. And I know it's a skill. It's a skill that's hard to develop. But start with somebody you trust. And just do what I've said before. Say, hey, start small, let things come naturally. It's okay if you don't need to say, it's okay that you don't say everything. And two, I forgot the second one. So, okay. Oh no. One. So, number one was a better way to, finding better ways to deal with it. Number one, talking to people you trust. And number two, I can't think of the number two. I apologize. I'm also going to take in my own advice, and sort of, if it comes back to me, I'll let you know. But, you know, don't feel pressure. Don't, deep breath. Here, let's take some deep breaths. Because, you know, I find it fairly difficult as well to, sort of, yeah. Wait, I need to make sure of something. Okay, you can't tell what that is. Sorry. I got personal information on this notebook of mine, and, you know... Okay. Now that we're feeling a bit more calm, let's move on. When it comes to progress, the part where it says, I thought I finished my growth, maybe, but, so what I'm reading is that you've been making a lot of progress throughout however much time it's been, but now you're circling back, and maybe you feel failure, you feel defeated, but, you know, maybe it could be that your progress was never over. So instead of viewing it as, oh, I was doing so well and now I'm back to the start, maybe view it as, oh, this is a hiccup and I'm able to come back up. Because a lot of these things come down to recovery. How do you react and recover from your mistakes? Because everybody makes mistakes. Humans make mistakes. And we need to sort of learn that it's okay if maybe we're progressing and we have a bump along the way. That's what progress is. It's not just, it's think, okay, this is kind of jumping a bit, but think like, addictions. When somebody, quits, I don't know, alcohol, it's really difficult for the beginning, and then they sort of come back. They come back. The beginning's really difficult, and they come back. And there are times where maybe they come back to their old habits, but it's important to recover from that. It's okay to have a hiccup from time to time. We just gotta recover from it. Good. And this feeling, everything terrible that's happened is happening at the same time. That is fine. And, okay, well, not fine, but maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe this is like, I don't know what's going on in your life. Well, I do, but we're not going to get into that. I don't know what's going on in your life. So maybe whatever it is, maybe it's many, many, many things that are overwhelming you. Just sort of in life, you gotta be a fighter. You gotta just sort of fight for what you believe in. And in this case, what you believe in is happiness, I'd say. You want to fight for happiness. You want to fight for clarity in your mind. And you just sort of, you gotta fight through it. Being able to fight through things is a really important skill to have. And, it's hard. It's hard. I get it too. There were many times in my life where I felt that everything's bearing down on me and I don't know if I'm going to get out of it. But I got out of it. And I'm sure you've had moments. Like you said, everything that's terrible is happening at the same time. You've gone through all those terrible things and you're still here, right? So don't feel so don't let the knowledge that it's a lot bring you down more. Tell yourself that, oh, it's a lot, but I'll be able to get through it because I've been able to go through challenges before. And I know, again, you said that it feels like it's everything. Change your viewpoint. Change your viewpoint from, oh, everything is bearing down on me, to, oh, let me deal with these challenges individually, one by one. Because if you try to try to deal with them all at the same time, you're not going to be able to do that. I mean, unless you are able to do that, then in that case, I applaud you, pat your back, right? But, the things and people I used to have an escape from the issues at hand have been caught in the issues at hand. But when will I address it? That's the thing. That's the thing with friends. Maybe you have friends that you used to fall on, but now you are struggling with them just as you were with the friends you just. Let me paint you a picture. Yeah, I'm a ninth grader in high school, right? And I have this group of friends, right? This group of like 2 friends. We'll name them F and K. So I'm struggling a bit with F and K, right? But I have this other friend. Let's call him J. I go to Jay, not necessarily to like talk to him about these issues, but sort of as somebody to enjoy their company and sort of like be around them and sort of cherish their energy. But I'd say like a year later, fast forward, I start having issues with Jay, and I fall onto this other group of people. I don't know. I don't know. So, and maybe I meet this new group of friends called, I don't know. Let's call them the Shining Stars, right? So, I sort of have issues with Jay, right? So I fall onto the Shining Stars. And then maybe I start having issues as well. Notice how it sort of conflict comes with friendship. And you're going to see a lot of similar experiences when it comes to, oh, I'm having a lot of miscommunications. Oh, I depend too much on this person. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I love this person, but I'm too scared to tell them. Just whatever it is, a lot of it is like, oh, cans of worms, because I know in your thing you're like, oh, so much. But it comes with friendship, and it's okay that maybe you're sort of having these sort of issues with friends, right? But that's what comes with friendship, and it's important, again, to learn how to recover. Maybe figure out what the issue is and to communicate one-on-one. A lot of it, so much of it deals with communication. So, yeah, trust me, it comes with friendship, and don't beat yourself up over something that's sort of natural that comes with relationships and stuff. And when, in the case of when to address it, whenever you feel comfortable. Maybe you're too stressed out right now to sort of have one-on-ones. Or I could suggest you this. Maybe having a one-on-one with all of these stresses will help alleviate some of those stresses. So, yeah, take that for something. Maybe they like me quiet. Maybe they're fine with it. Maybe if they had an issue, they'd say. But it's all still a maybe. I'm better than this. I've been better than this. I know better than this. I'm fun. I've been fun. My job is to be fun. I can be fun, but I can't fight for it. My disturbances overtake me, and I fall apart all over again. I'm scared my lack of energy depletes everyone else's, and they don't deserve that. This is the norm to them. I'm the boy who cried wolf. A lot of this is sort of stuff, I guess is a good way to recap what I said. It's fine to be quiet, and it's fine to be talkative, but we gotta find that balance, right? Finding that balance of, oh, I want to do this, but don't do this, and also transitioning from one to the other. And just sort of having good, clear communication so that you wouldn't have all these maybes. And again, recovery is much more important than the fact that you messed up. Just, and I can't fight for it. And having that more social aspect will help you stop yourself from your sort of inner thoughts eating you up, and also being nicer to yourself will help you deal with those inner thoughts being so negative. And when it comes to sort of, oh, does my energy sort of deplete people's energy? It can happen. Maybe your energy can sort of start concern around your own community, but yeah, maybe I'd say communicate with them. Again, it all comes back to communication. Ask them if they're okay with you sort of saying how you feel, because I think I think from a lot of my personal relationships and friendships, how you feel matters a lot to people. And they don't, in the end of the day, they don't want you to feel bad about yourself. And they'd be willing to do what they can. They're they're your friends after all. They'd be willing to do what they can to help. Whether it be listening to you, giving you advice, or just having fun with you. Because like you said, you're fun. So just don't be too hard on yourself. Alleviate your stresses. Relax yourself. Learn to talk more with others. Because I'm sure they want to talk to you just as much as you want to talk to them. I certainly like this. Like, I've been recording for 35 minutes. It feels like it's been like 10. And just have more positive outlooks and learn to fight the negativity that maybe is in your mind. And maybe that negativity will go away. Not completely, but enough. I hope whoever is listening to this found this insightful. I, as the thinker, certainly found it insightful. I think it's really helpful for me to say my thoughts out loud. Because it's almost like I am talking to a person. Maybe I am a bit nervous to talk to people. Because, I'm very do as I say, not as I do. Because I'm gonna be honest. A lot of this stuff I could say about myself. I am kind of saying it about myself. Because, thinker, after all, thinks a lot of things. And those things aren't always very nice. So, again, my new motto. Helping others helps yourself. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully you found this calm. But I'm the thinker. And thank you next time. I'll think of a better outro by the end of it. By like episode 3, I'll figure out a better. But thank you guys.